All right. I think we're recording episode 9. Here we are. I've titled this The Big Change because it's really documenting the switch we recently had to make in our direction of how things will be minted and sort of what we're going to do, but also a little bit on what we've heard from the community and what they've liked, right? And this customization, personalization is really hitting home with some people, and in a different way, like more than we thought, right? So that was kind of the shift. So I
Yeah,
don't know if you want to
so
start.
this is not an overnight project. This is probably a project that's been half a year old at this point, and more so the last 3 to 4 months. But what we have to let you know is at the genesis of this project, at its inception, we had two choices. One was to make a token that you put something on it and it stays like that forever. And then the other path, which we chose, which was to make a token and be able to wipe the slate clean, change the name, and resell it. And we wanted to give people an out who wanted to resell. We wanted those little bit of royalties to come in to help fuel the community. But in talking with our developer, he recently presented us last week with 3 options, and 2 of them were really not something that we could support. And so what we had to really sift through was option 1. Okay, you can present the name, it can change, but it's only able to be displayed when you connect your MetaMask wallet to the Blockchain of Fame website. And when it's not connected, it's not going to be showing up on your NFT in your wallet or on OpenSea. And the only way to really find it is to scroll through the gallery on the Blockchain of Fame website.
Yeah.
So that option, like, you can hear how convoluted and backwards it just is, even trying to explain this to someone. People just want to go, here's my NFT. That's all they want to do, right? Here's my cool NFT. It has my name on it. Cool art. Look, right? So that was out pretty much immediately. Now, Mike, I'm going to let you talk about the other option because you understand it a little bit better.
Yeah, the other option he presented was sort of I guess he said the way it would function is, we have this image, you create an NFT out of it, and then essentially when you have to change the name, you're really adjusting the image, right? And it's really, I guess, not a true burn and remint scenario. And so in a sense that a true NFT, NFT standards, right, is that it's a never, it should never change, right?
Yeah,
It's a non-fungible token, right? That's the idea. Whereas in some sense, we'd be taking a non-fungible token and you're editing it, for the purpose of the name.
And
that
the art wouldn't really change, but the name would change, and then it would just kind of, make it slightly different. And we were like, we don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many scams in the industry, and if somebody says one bad thing about your project, that's it. Your name's dragged through the mud. It's bad. You don't want to be associated with anything like that. We didn't work 4 to 6 months of our lives, spend all this money, all this time, all this energy, just to have an option that could be called out, and we couldn't be able to justify it.
Yeah.
Especially we're new to this, so if he never mentioned it, we could have been played dumb. But we're glad he mentioned it because now we are educated and able to move on to our third option. And our third option really was that other option that we circled back to, which was, okay, you get it. You write one thing on it, and that's it forever. It stays true to the definition of an NFT. It does hurt the resale value a little bit, but that's just a sacrifice we have to make to keep the integrity within the project.
Yeah.
Right. So that's really the big change that you need to be aware of. Additionally, with that big change, what is, had to happen was we had to edit some of the smart contract in a sense where we had to add things to make it even more of a smooth transition. We wanted to now make an exclusivity filter, meaning that if you minted a really cool name or word or brand or whatever, that you would be the sole owner of that name on that token, and nobody else, when they go to mint, would be able to mint that. So that's super awesome. We had to put in a profanity filter to kind of protect the community from hate speech and, really bad words. This is going to be a public display eventually in the metaverse once we reach all our goals. So we can't have something ruining the brand and decreasing the value, and nobody wants to really be associated with that. And then additionally, he built in some extra functionality and making it a smoother, on the user end to mint your token and things of that nature. So all those changes really made us have to add a little bit of time to the project. So we are going from December 29th, when we were going to start our whitelist, to January 7th. But again, that's our last change date-wise. So that's exciting in a sense that it allows us to kind of breathe through the holidays and focus on our families and be grateful and take a little bit of a break because we've been killing ourselves. But I think the most exciting changes, like those are the big changes, but what Mike alluded to earlier was this customization feature. So we always kind of had it, but we didn't know until we started presenting these collaborations to the community how much of an asset this was going to bring to our collection and to the table for our potential minters and buyers of our NFT. And it is a higher pricing point, but you do get Mike and I's like personal attention.
And artists.
You get our access to our artists. You get to replace one of our, even though they're great, our crypto icons with your own picture. And then you get a selection of kind of enhanced fonts. And you put that all together and you'll get not one from it'll all be from the 5,000, but it'll have that little extra layer of personalization and customization, and that'll give you that little extra flex within the blockchain of fame. We're just really excited because we see how great these collaborations are coming out, and so many people are like, I want one like that, I want a different one like that. I have all these great ideas, and it just keeps evolving.
Yeah.
And it just keeps enhancing the value of the project to the user.
Yeah, and I think the other big thing is it's the give the people what they want kind of thing, approach. And we would never have maybe changed direction in some sense in certain ways if we didn't grow this community and talk to people. And so we've met a bunch of great people along the way, and Chris recently did a great Twitter post on all of our collabs, like the 4 or 5 of them. And like, we've met some amazing folks in those communities, not only the owners of those projects, but we're talking about all the, the holders of those projects, and they've come over to our project, and, they're great, and they're growing our community. And, when they're telling us these kind of things, well, I'm concerned, I want to be able to make sure I have, no one mints what I mint on top of that. My text is unique, or I want a custom one. Like, I'll pay for the custom one. Like, how can I be part of that? We were like, well, you know what? That should be an option, right? Yeah. So it's like, yes, is it more on our end? Is it that a slow process, like to fill those 400 or 500 spots that are custom that we have? Yes, that's an overtime thing. That's not going to happen in one day, on launch day, but it's going to be a beautiful part of our collection, right? So, just talking to all of you, and the more we grow, the more we talk to, it's helped us, I think, make the changes that now really have refined the project for sure. Like, I know I'm really stoked about that option. Yeah. And also just the way we've sort of streamlined everything, for the launch. So we're waiting.
I think we're a piece of coal that is constantly under pressure, and we're starting to show the effects of becoming this diamond, this strong project that has so much room for growth and so much potential. And it really is thanks to the pressure that we put on ourselves, but from the belief in the community and the support that we get. And these changes are not easy to make. And I think that's what we're trying to convey here. We know that if we change the date, or we have to make a price adjustment before the project really goes live, or if, we don't do enough advertising, we're still going to be okay, because these changes are for the best. Yeah. They're future focused, they're community based and community driven, and all in all, we're really proud of what we are presenting now. We feel like we've learned a lot, and we're taking all of our experiences and putting them to work. We're not just
Mhm.
giving up. We're not throwing in the towel. There was a fourth option. The option was to just
scrap
throw
it
in
all.
the towel and say,
Mhm.
all right, we tried our best. And we both immediately were like, no.
No, that makes no
Like,
sense.
it was like it in one ear, out the other,
Yeah.
because we've worked too hard and grown too much to just take our ball and go home.
And you know, this is also, it's not just about us, right? This documentary series, which was Chris's idea, is making an NFT project, right? So I would say that taking your community feedback is really important, and being okay with switching direction, right? You know, before you're really, really sure, is probably a pain in the butt and may incur more costs, more time, you know, more stress, but it could be worth it in the end. So I think like that's definitely lesson learned on this one.
Yeah, and so we'd just like to continue to gain your support and trust, and please feel free to drop a comment, a like,
Links
a share,
down below.
come by our community, check out our
Subscribe,
website,
follow,
do all the things that keep us motivated to bring you the best versions of us and the best versions of the blockchain of fame. And stay tuned for the next episode. We're probably going to go a little bit beyond the 10. We might have to throw a bonus episode or two your way.
That's right.
Maybe there'll be some outtakes, right?
And we're going to do a post-launch episode too. So just status of how it's all gone. But cool. All right, everyone.
Bye.